Alright, welcome back guys. If it's your first time here, I'm Vision here, born entertainment, bringing you guys another video. Today you guys my review for The Walking Dead Season 11, Episode 15, Trust. Now if The Walking Dead is something you're instant, don't forget to hit subscribe button down below, hit that bell icon, that have some more Walking Dead content from me moving forward. Now let's begin. So we're at the penultimate episode for the second half of Fear the Walking Dead Season 11. Now, this episode, I don't know, it didn't really feel like a penultimate episode. It just felt like your average episode, and I feel like it should have had a little bit more oomph to it than it actually did. Now, I'm going to go by, there's 3 individual stories going on here. First, we got the one with Ezekiel and Carol and Tommy. You got Ezekiel who shows up to Tommy. I guess he has someone who needed an operation, and he went to Tommy to get it done, and I guess they have to do this under the table. And you got Tommy who is reluctant, but then agrees after kind of Ezekiel talks him into it. Now, one of the things I'm going to mention here is, where is Yumiko? I feel like Yumiko should be playing a larger role, especially since Tommy is part of the Commonwealth, and it feels like she just vanished. But I guess at the moment that's just besides the point. But you got the two of them who are going to get this done, however they're caught by Commonwealth soldiers. And you got Carol who frees them due to her new connections that she's growing within the Commonwealth, which is cool. I really like that. And you got Tommy who goes to Ezekiel's zoo, and I guess in one of the, animal pens or whatever you'd call it, you got, people hiding out who I guess are, lower class citizens and don't really have a place to stay. And Ezekiel's kind of watching them. And one of the people there is the one who needs the surgery, and Tommy successfully does the procedure. Now, another nitpick I have here probably is the fact that we don't know this person, and I feel like they should have put it in as someone we know, because having it be just this random survivor didn't add the kind of urgency or importance that I feel like it should have had. So I just didn't really like that. I like the idea of Ezekiel using his new lease on life to help people, so I really like that, but I think they should have made this person more important and someone we actually know and care about, rather than just some unknown person from the Commonwealth that we don't know. Then you got the story arc regarding Eugene, Max, and Mercer. Now, you got Connie and Kelly who are brought forth to meet with Eugene and Rosita, who tells them what happened in the previous episode, and that, they're going to invest, and you got them who send Connie and Kelly out to investigate what's going on. And then I feel like Connie and Kelly should have had a more prominent role in this episode, but they disappear after the first 5-10 minutes, and it's just focused on Eugene, who goes to confront Max about it, kind of talk to her about it, and then you got her who goes to talk to Mercer about it, and you got the two of them, she's trying to convince Mercer to stand up. They both know, of course, the Commonwealth isn't this great place, and she's kind of trying to coax Mercer into, standing up and trying to help change things, but he's kind of just going about his life, doesn't want to really step too far out of line, and all that stuff, so he's kind of ignoring her, and she kind of fires back at him saying, look, you're the type of people listen to you, you need to do this. And then you got his relationship with Princess going on, and I feel like they kind of rushed this. I feel like this was kind of rushed and didn't really get fleshed out. So I'm going to take off some points there, a little nitpicky, and they kind of had this little discussion, and through their discussion, I guess Mercer decides that Max is right, and he needs to start stepping up and maybe making some changes within the Commonwealth. I feel like that was an okay story arc. I don't know, I feel like the Commonwealth stories were just kind of fillery, and some things about it just kind of didn't fit and kind of felt rushed. But then you got the whole story regarding Lance and Hilltop. Now, Lance showed up at the apartment building following what happened. He's questioning Aaron and Gabriel as to how things went down, and he's suspicious as to the fact that they're the only ones who survived. And I feel like their story could have been helped by the fact that they just had to argue the fact that, the groups spared them because they weren't wearing Commonwealth armor. They didn't see them as much as a threat, and so they were spared, and they just slaughtered anybody that looked like they were related to the Commonwealth. I feel like that would have been a very good way to go around, instead of them being like, the people lost control, we just somehow managed to survive. I feel like having them be like they were spared because they weren't wearing Commonwealth armor or uniforms, that would have made out for a better story. But You got Lance, who decides to go check out the hilltop. He's still pissed that Maggie won't join them, so I feel like he's trying to toy with her and get back at her for that. On the way, they do run into a few walkers, and Lance has, Aaron, Daryl, and Gabriel dispatch them because he doesn't want to waste bullets. But it's also due to the fact that at the apartment building you had, Daryl tell him that, we have been on the road for a while, so we're able to handle ourselves. That's why that's why they were most likely able to take out the apartment, survive and not get hurt by the Commonwealth soldiers or the people taking out the Commonwealth soldiers. So I really like that. That was a good way to go about it. But you got Lance, who shows up there, and this is where we kind of connect to the kind of cliffhanger ending at episode 9, where Daryl shows up to Commonwealth. And it's mainly, I feel like they were built this up to be like they're gonna explode into this big battle, but it was just them searching for these survivors. So I feel like the tension and anticipation was lost there. But you got them. Maggie doesn't want to let them in. Of course, she doesn't trust Lance, but Daryl kind of talks to her and tells her, "Trust me. They're not leaving, but you can trust me. We'll, just let us in. We'll go through this, and we'll leave you alone." Which I like that. Daryl's proven himself that Maggie can trust him. They know each other. And you got Lance, who's kind of surveying the area, searching for these people. He does find the truck that they used to get there. I think it's the same truck. I'm not sure. And I guess Maggie did something to it, so Lance kind of figured out that they used it because it doesn't turn on. He's trying to work on it. I guess he says he's a car guy, but he couldn't get it to work. And Maggie just keeps getting more and more frustrated and angry at Lance to the point where she tells him, you have till sundown to search the place, otherwise once that's done, you're out of here. Meanwhile, you got Lance, who's still trying to survey the area. He talks to Herschel, and this is the part where I found very interesting. And I feel like this really showed Lance a lot, and he was very, he kind of made my skin crawl in a way, the way he talked to Herschel. And I feel like they really built Lance up to be this, kind of predatory person towards kids. I even watched it, I was thinking, what, did Lance own, a white van prior to the apocalypse? Because he came off as really, a child predator, the way he was talking to Herschel. And I get what he was going at, and I did really like that, but it still just was creepy, which I liked. But then you got Elijah, who shows up and attacks him after he kind of was talking to Herschel. He shows him the hat of the hat that belonged to Glenn, and tells him that they found it here and is suspicious about it, especially once he puts it on Herschel's head, saying it fits. And then you got Maggie, who shows up holding him at gunpoint after what happened. You got Herschel telling her that he kind of threatened them, and Maggie at that point is pissed to the point where she just tells him, "Get out of here or I'm going to kill you." Daryl, finally sticks up to Maggie and says, "You didn't find anything. Let's go. Let's get out of here." And, you got Lance, who finally complies, and, the Commonwealth soldiers kind of pick up and head out. Now, we then move on to the end of the episode. They're camping out, I guess, a few miles outside of Hilltop, and they're trying to figure out what they're gonna do, because they can't hand over the survivors, and they're saying maybe if we find the supplies, that'll buy us some time. But then you got Lance, who's interrupted by who is watching or sitting by nearby, and you got one of the Commonwealth soldiers who says, "We found something," and they go to investigate. They find, I guess, some of their supplies. However, they're ambushed, and a few of the Commonwealth soldiers are taken out, and it's revealed that Leah has ambushed them. And Lance talks her down and says, "Look, I don't, let's not hurt each other, let's talk." And he says he wants to, offer her a job or business proposal. And that's pretty much the cliffhanger ending to episode 15. And I honestly did like it. Like I said, though, I think these Commonwealth stories were just handled a little bit weak. They kind of felt like an afterthought, and I feel like they're trying to push things and rush things in, which I don't really like. But the story at the Hilltop, I really did enjoy. Lance being built up more as a villain type character was definitely very well done. His interactions with Maggie and Herschel are very well done. And I'm very curious to see what goes on here of him hiring Leah. Why is he hiring Leah? What's his end game here? Very interesting way to go about it, especially since the mid-season finale is next episode. So I'm very curious to see what they have planned here. I'm really hoping Leah is dispatched in the mid-season finale. I don't know how/why she would be continued on into the third part. At this point, I'm sick and tired of her. Just bring her and have her, just end it here. I'm tired of Leah. We've moved on past the Reaper arc. We're supposed to be in the Commonwealth story arc, and you're still dragging this thing out. So, like I said in my last review, I just don't want to see her hanging out too long. Hopefully, it's just next episode, and maybe she gets killed trying to do her job. I don't know. But overall, I thought this was a solid episode. A few things, like I said, nitpicky here. If I had to give this episode a grade, I think I'm going to stick with the same grade I gave episode 14. I think I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Nothing higher. A few things, like I said, with the Commonwealth story that I didn't really like. The Hilltop story was great. So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. But let me know your thoughts and opinions about the episode in the comment section down below. Yeah, guys, that's my review of The Walking Dead Season 11, Episode 15, Trust. Now, if The Walking Dead sounds your instant, don't forget to hit subscribe button down below, hit that bell icon, then have some more Walking Dead content from me moving forward, and go follow me on Instagram and Twitter, which I linked in the best section on my YouTube channel. As always, I'm Vision Hero Boy Entertainment, and I'll see you next time.